why women love toxic men. And the reason why women love toxic men is because they think that they can change that man into becoming a better man, or because they're very immature, or because they have very, very low self-esteem, or they're interested in a guy that's not interested in them. You see, women love toxic men because of the chase. Women love a project. Women love a guy that doesn't care about them as much. That's all about himself. Women love selfish men. And a lot of selfish men to a woman is toxic because he's all about himself. A selfish man, he'll get into a relationship with a woman and sleep with other women and don't think nothing of it because he's all about himself. Women love selfish men. They love toxic men. And those are the reasons why. Because they have low self-esteem, or they're very immature, or they think that they can change that man into becoming a simp. Because women are so used to men when they get into a relationship that don't know their worth. So when they get with a guy that does know his worth, and that's another reason, because they get with a guy that does know his worth. So when they get with a guy that does know his worth, and he doesn't care about that woman when he enters that relationship, it's like it's something that she feel like she has to change. He's the project. He's something to work on. Or I'm not used to a guy that doesn't care about me, that doesn't invest in me. Because these women are so used to guys that care about them, that invest in them, that put them up on a pedestal when they enter a relationship. So this is the reason why women love toxic men. Because it gives them something, to chase. It's something that's not a normality to them. It's not normal. Because they're so used to guys that's, worshiping them when they're in a relationship. And once they get a guy that's all about himself, when they enter a relationship, it's like, they start complaining. Oh, he's not giving me enough attention. He's not giving me enough validation. He's not simping for me. So I'm telling you guys, I'm not telling you guys to be a toxic man, but you need to develop a mindset when you get into a relationship with a woman. In order to get that woman to chase you and to invest in you, you're going to have to be more about self. This is why I tell you guys to have a purpose when you get into a relationship with a woman. And put your purpose first. Put what you want done in life first, even when you enter a relationship. Because once you drop what's important in life, that's going to better your life into a relationship, for her, you're going to get used in the process of that. But this is why women love toxic men, because toxic men, they're all about themselves, even when they get into a relationship with a woman. You guys need to develop this mindset. Now, I'm not telling you to develop a mindset of being toxic by being a cheater or by being a woman, abuser, whether it's psychologically or physically. But what I'm telling you is be more about self, and you'll get a woman to chase you. You'll get a woman to do more for you. But this is why women love toxic men, because toxic men are very, very selfish. And to a woman, women, like I just said, they love projects. They love guys who they think that they can change. They always try to turn a toxic man into a simp. They think that they can change that toxic man into becoming a simp that's going to worship her. But guys, do not become that simp. Now, I'm not telling you to be a toxic man when you're dealing with a woman. But what I am telling you is to be more about self. Put your purpose first before that woman. And you'll get a better, that woman, she'll invest in you more. She'll put you first. She'll chase after you instead of you usually chasing after women. But she has to have high interest in you. She does. She has to want the relationship from you, not you wanting the relationship from her. But, to a woman's mindset, a toxic man could be a man that's like not always available. It doesn't necessarily have to be a guy that's cheating or being abusive physically or psychologically. But it could be a guy that's just not giving her all of his time or enough time. because he's chasing his purpose. It could be that. It doesn't have to be, a guy that's just, a roughneck, a cheater, a woman beater. It doesn't have to be that type of guy. What I'm just telling you guys is that a toxic man to a woman can be a guy that's just not always there. He's just not always there. He's putting himself first. So guys, make sure you still put yourself first, even when you enter a relationship, or it's not gonna go good for you. You're gonna end up chasing her in the relationship, and you're not gonna reap the benefits out of that relationship. Because you're gonna end up being a helpmate to her, and really she's supposed to be a helpmate to you. You're supposed to be focusing on your purpose. So this is why women love toxic men, because toxic men, they keep women chasing. They just keep them chasing. Like a toxic man, when he leaves the house, he don't tell a woman where he's going. I mentioned this before. He just leaves. And then she end up wondering where he's at. So she starts texting him, calling him, "Oh, where you at? You've been gone for 5 hours." It causes her to chase. It causes her to invest. But this is why women love toxic men, because toxic men, they put themselves first. And it causes that woman to chase. So it causes her to invest more and more into that man until she falls in love with that man. Until she's totally submissive to that man. Toxic men, they keep women in a submissive state. They keep a woman chasing by putting themselves first, by not investing into women. They invest into themselves even when they into a relationship. The woman, they doing most of the investment. They doing most of the investing into the relationship when they with a toxic man. Because the toxic man, he's investing into himself, into that relationship. He's not investing so much into that woman. So that woman, she's always wondering where he's at. He's not always at the house. Majority of the time, he's, y'all guys call these guys bad boys, which a lot of them are. They in the streets, selling drugs or doing what they want. Because that toxic man, he always putting himself first. He doesn't put that woman first. He doesn't put that woman up on a pedestal. So it causes the woman to chase, and it causes that woman to invest. And like I said, once that woman invests so much, she becomes, she gets afraid to lose that investment. So she becomes fully submissive to that toxic man, and she falls in love with that toxic man. Because that toxic man, he's always putting himself first. Now, you don't have to be a toxic man to get a woman to chase. You just always have to put yourself first. And I'm not recommending no man to be a cheater or a woman abuser or nothing like that. But always put yourself first, and don't do so much investing into these women when you enter these relationships. Invest into yourself when you enter these relationships. And always keep a woman on her toes. Always keep her wondering. But this is why women love toxic men. Because toxic men, they always putting themselves first into the relationship, which causes the woman to chase. They don't put a woman upon a pedestal. They have that abundance mindset. They're not afraid to lose a woman, because they live life based off of putting themselves first, because they know for a fact that if they don't adjust to society and put themselves first, and they put other people first and invest in other people first, they're not going to get anything from life. They're not going to gain nothing from life. They're just going to end up getting used, because good people, they let people use them. The nicer you are, the more people are going to use you. And this is why toxic men, they understand this. So they put themselves first. And they don't allow people to use them. But this is why women love toxic men, because they're very immature. They think that they can change that toxic man to becoming a simp, A guy that's going to, drop everything for her to worship her, or because they have very, very low self-esteem. Now, a woman with low self-esteem, she loves toxic men because she has this dysfunctional mindset of she see the good in bad men. She see the bad in good men. Now, this is a woman, most likely this is a damaged woman. She doesn't know her worth. She doesn't know who she is. So this is another reason why women love toxic men. Hope you guys got something out of this video. It's Coleman.